We find that birds are increasingly arriving earlier during the spring and leaving later during the autumn. I would say now at a scale that maybe even some people would have thought unprecedented, in that in just a few years it's become quite noticeable and people are commenting. So I would say that what we see in Gibraltar is not local but rather reflective of global trends. But it's not just birds, of course. There are responses across the entire spectrum of the natural world, among insects, which obviously make up the majority of life on Earth, plants as well. And there's an interesting example from Gibraltar, and that's the pine processionary moth. This moth that produces this caterpillar that walks in single file to find its place to pupate during the early spring. I remember when I was a child, and not even a child. I mean, until a decade and a half ago, it was rare to see those caterpillars before February. They used to peak in March. Now they're emerging in December, and they're extremely active throughout January. So that is an obvious response to climate change. Whilst there is evidence that plants are doing things differently according to climate change, and some of them are flowering earlier and completing their flowering cycle later and so forth, the response of plants isn't just regulated by temperature. In fact, many plants flower according to photoperiod, according to the length of the days and the amount of sunshine, and that remains the same regardless of temperature. So that's a bit trickier to gauge.